let's do this. Just be one sec while okay, there we go. Talk a little bit about our company, LegalShield. We've been established back in 1972 when this gentleman pictured here, Harlan Stonecipher, was in a car accident. He had health insurance, he had life insurance, he had auto insurance, all the insurances that he thought he needed. But as a result of that accident where the other driver was ticketed, he was in the hospital and he got a knock on that door in his hospital room to find out that he was being served a lawsuit. Even the accident was not his fault. He was still being sued as a result of that accident. Man, if it happened back in 1969, can it happen in 2019, 50 years later? You bet that we can. In fact, we're more litigious now than we were back then. But Mr. Stonecipher had an idea. And rather than being a victim, he decided to be a victor. And, you know, the old saying, make lemonade out of lemons, if you will. And rather than just talking about how lousy the legal system was over the next 50 years, he created one of the most powerful business ideas and concepts. In fact, today we do well over $500 million on an annual basis. And LegalShield is definitely the leader of legal services in North America. We protect nearly 5 million North American lives right now with dedicated law firms in all 50 states and 4 provinces of Canada. And by the way, Canadians, we are opening up the rest of the Canada very soon. We're going over to England this year as well. So we have some exciting things that are going on with our company. You know, one of the reasons that I've had a successful business with LegalShield for the last 20 years is that the product makes sense, that the average person, when they hear about it, go, you know what, I could have used that many times in the past. I'm probably gonna need it again. Go ahead and sign me up. Whether we offer it as an employee benefit, a business plan for the millions of small businesses that are out there, or just somebody that's a consumer that's tired of getting ripped off and taken advantage of. So here's how the membership works. The first thing that you're gonna get is you're gonna get an app right on your phone, so it makes it very user-friendly. Whenever you have a legal situation or just a legal question between the regular hours of 9 to 5, you tap the app on your phone, it rings right into your law firm. Okay, it lets them know you're a LegalShield member. They will answer, they will ask what your situation is, and they will team you up with an attorney within 4 hours in most places that can answer your questions and give you unlimited consultation. Now, this isn't a consultation where they want to get a check at the end. This is a consultation where whether it takes 5 minutes or 5 hours, they're going to stay on the phone with you until you get all of your questions answered. And in many situations, they're going to write a letter or make a phone call on your behalf. I'll tell you a couple quick stories. Not too long ago, I was on a business trip. When I came back, there was a brand new speed bump in my neighborhood that was really obnoxiously, it was just too big. In fact, there were 3 of them, and the first one was big, the second one was extra large, the third one we were coming up with nicknames for. But the problem for me was every time I tried to go over to the speed bump, the bottom of my car would bottom out. It was just too big and it wasn't working for me. So I called the HOA president. She sort of laughed at me, sort of blew me off, quite frankly. And then I called my provider attorney with LegalShield, and they wrote a two and a half page letter that was so strong that it sent out 5 guys in welding masks the following week to shave down the speed bump. Now, that might be a small story, and maybe you would never call a lawyer about a speed bump before, but I tell you what, when people feel the heat, they start to see the light. And at LegalShield, we have muscles that most people don't have access to, quite frankly. Another time I booked a cruise, and I had 3 cabins I was booking, and they got the port and the boat wrong, okay? When I got my itinerary, rather than being on the Carnival Fantasy, they booked me on the Carnival Fascination, right? One was in Miami, the other was in Cape Canaveral. Honest mistake, I don't think they did it to ruin my life or my vacation, but they wanted me to pay the $150 to move back to the cruise that I originally intended on booking in the first place, okay? After some argument, they made me give them their credit card, or weren't going to move me to the other boat for $150. But guess what? I consulted with my attorney. They wrote a letter, and guess who got the $150 back before we departed? And that is one of the beauties of LegalShield. All these sort of headache situations, if you've ever been put on hold, if you've ever had to deal with customer service, if anyone's ever owed you money, or you just felt like you've been ripped off or cheated, this is a great membership for you. Contracts and documents. You know, sometimes we get into bad situations because we don't even know what we're agreeing to. We sign our life away every single day. And so think of the last time that you had a contract or document that you signed, that you agreed to something. Chances are you didn't have your attorney look at it. As a member of LegalShield, our members have unlimited access to contract and document review, up to 15 pages per document, which is pretty phenomenal. Just a few of the other things we covered. IRS will give you a certain amount of hours every year in case you're audited. if you're sued, man, lawsuits have been going crazy in North America today. And then at the bottom, you could see it's the only 90-day waiting period we have is for family and domestic services such as uncontested divorce, adoption, separation, and name change. Okay. Now, I don't know if you've got a heavy foot like some of our Legal Shield members, but imagine the next time you get pulled over and those blue lights go on, you're stressed out, but maybe not as stressed out because you know as soon as that officer pulls away, you can take a picture of that traffic ticket or go right to your law firm. They'll call you the very next business day and they will plan on meeting you in court or going on your behalf. Guys, this is super powerful. If you've ever gotten one ticket, if you have teenage drivers, you know that insurance rates can skyrocket. But as a member of Legal Shield, you never have to worry about that because you have access to the legal system that even the rich, quite frankly, do not. We also cover more serious situations, like if you're ever involved in an accident where somebody's injured or killed, or there's charges like negligent homicide, vehicular manslaughter, something that none of us ever want to think about, but it is a reality on the streets, especially with teenage drivers. Or I know up in the north right now, we still have bad weather with black ice. There's a lot of situations that, quite frankly, are just out of our control. So what's great about a Legal Shield membership is that you'll be fully covered, you and your family. Next, when you're putting together a legal plan like we've been doing for almost 50 years now, probably the cornerstone, the most important, is that you have all of your financial affairs in order, your estate, your last will and testament. Do you know that, and I don't mean to be morbid here, but 150,000 people a day on average clock out for the last time? Do you know that nearly 80% of them do not have their last will and testament prepared, leaving their family with a nightmare? That does not have to be the case anymore. As a member of Legal Shield, what our members and your members are going to get is a will valued at sometimes $2,000-3,000 for you and your spouse, all included as part of being a Legal Shield member. And guys, that is just the beginning. If there's anything outside of the plan that I missed, you'll get a discount on. So a DUI, a bankruptcy, a bank robbery, whatever your situation is, you know that you're never going to pay retail again to have the best attorneys across North America represent you and your family. And why do attorneys do this? Well, because they don't have to advertise. They don't have to, put their picture all over billboards and buses and park benches and all these other places that attorneys are just trying to get the message out. Call us, call us. Well, we do that for them, right? They don't have, we take out that part of the equation for attorneys. Some of them spend tens of thousands of dollars trying to get customers in. Well, we do that. That's part of the equation. And what they do now is they can do all these different services, from wills to tickets, and they can do them in a fraction of the time because we've got a system worked out, saving everybody money. Second thing that we've been doing for well over a decade now is identity theft protection. Do you know that identity theft has become the fastest growing crime in the world today, and less than 1% of identity thieves are ever caught? So what are we going to do? We got to protect ourselves. So the first thing that you got to decide is which product that you want to get. Do you get IDShield, which we believe is the premier product, and I'll give you a few reasons why here in a moment, or do you just simply get one from your bank because it's easier, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and stuff like that, because when you're on hold, they try to sell you that program. But you got to be careful of what you're buying, because in most situations, when you buy a product like that that's done through your bank or credit card, they're only really protecting the purchase that are made through that account. But what if somebody steals your medical identity, right? What if you get pulled over at midnight and they run your name and they find that there's been a crime committed in your name? What would you do in that situation? Well, what if you could have another app on your phone that was IDShield, and whether you're calling the lawyers or you're calling your private investigators, know that if someone's used your information for their gain, you're going to have unlimited access to our investigators to help out. Okay. Now, there's usually two parts to an identity theft product. There's monitoring and there's up-to-date credit reports. But where we take it is the third most important part, and that's at the bottom where you can see comprehensive restoration. Comprehensive restoration. They say that statistics are showing that over 25% of people are going to be victims of identity theft this year. When that happens, where are you going to turn? What exactly you're going to do? Well, with us, you're going to have unlimited access to your not only attorneys but private investigators as well, to restore your good name to where it was. So, imagine you get a letter from the IRS or maybe Home Depot or any other company out there and says, hey, you owe us money, right? Where on earth, if it was identity theft, who are you going to turn to? How are you going to start that case? Now, you just hit an app on your phone and we're going to help you with that situation. And guys, that's just a fraction of what we do here at Legal Shield. But just to, as you can see on the left, we offer the individual plan for only $34.90 per month. And our family plan is $49.90. Now, the numbers in Canada are a little bit different. For the entire family in Canada, it is only $35.95 as well. But we want to show you that you're going to save big money, not just by being a member of LegalShield and IDShield, but using the perks and the benefits that come along with our membership. Look at all the different great companies that are listed there, whether it's Amazon, Best Buy, Sprint, 24 Fitness, whatever it is. I'm sure that you could see a few of these that you already use and then you can plug into your already existing buying habits, and you can save that money off of our membership. They say that our company's showing that when a member uses these services, they save nearly $2,000 on an annual basis, obviously way above what their Legal Shield membership costs. Probably the reason that you've been invited to this Zoom presentation today, though, is to learn a little bit more about our business opportunity. Because quite frankly, I believe that when someone sits down and hears about our memberships, it's sort of like a no-brainer, right? That means even if they didn't have a brain, it would make sense. That's how great our membership is. Rather than paying $200, $300, $400, $500 an hour, we can do all of it for less than a cup of coffee a day. But what if you want a side business, or maybe you want a career change, or maybe you're looking to build a very big business like me and my family has done? Is that available for you? Absolutely. We all start at the same spot when we get started, and that's an associate with Legal Shield, independent associate with Legal Shield. When you go out and share your very first membership, you're going to get paid $60 per referral when you enroll somebody. So let's say you signed up your mom, your next door neighbor, and your best friend at work. You're going to get paid 60, 60, and 60. And let's say your best friend at work says, you know what? I need some extra money too. You're not going without me. Sign me up for the business. So let's say you have one person as an associate that's a member and 2 extra members. You're going to get paid $60 each on the first 3, but on the 4th, you're going to get bumped all the way up to $120 because now you're a senior associate. And let's say from that point forward, you marketed 5, 10 memberships. From there, you're going to get $120 on every one of those memberships. So let's say you did 5 memberships over the next week. After that, you're going to get 5 times 120, which is $600. And guys, it only goes up from there. I'm an executive director with Legal Shield, so when I go out and market a plan, I'm going to make $280 on that same $49.90. Okay, that's the first way, is that when we enroll a member. The second way we earn money is through team overrides. Okay, now probably the person that invited you, maybe they knew something about you, maybe that you wanted to make extra money. Maybe you were looking for something, but they also probably thought you were pretty entrepreneurial and they'd love to have you on their team. And so this way, when you go out and make a membership sale, they would make an override percentage as well, just like you have the ability to do. So say you're watching this today and you go, man, I know people all over the country. I have people in Chicago. I know people in New York. I know people in LA. I know people up in Toronto, Canada. You know, how can I turn those contacts into a business? Well, you share the information with them just like they shared the information with you. And every time that they go out and build a business by writing memberships or bringing in other associates or maybe a group or a small business, they'll get paid, but you'll get paid as well. Guys, this is very similar to the insurance business or the real estate business, where you have a real estate broker and a real estate agent. Maybe on Saturday, a day like today, all the agents are out showing houses, but guess what? The broker, the one that put it all together, the business owner, the one that did the recruiting and the motivating and all that, they're going to get paid a small percentage as well. So you literally have the opportunity to be a broker here with Legal Shield, as well as going out and personally marketing memberships yourself. Let's move along and talk about, let's give you a quick example. Let's say you had a small team of 30 associates, and we say small because some of us have built a team like that literally in just a couple weeks. And let's say that they average 5 memberships per month. So that's $7,500 in this example of override income that an average executive director would make in that example. Pretty exciting. But guess what? There's no limit to the amount of people that you can introduce to Legal Shield. There's no limit to the amount of memberships that they can market on a monthly basis. Okay, let's talk about residual income. You know, all the money that we talked about up front for bringing in new customers and sharing this membership, that represents a 12-month advance commission. We borrowed this from the life insurance industry. Why? Because it worked. Okay, we realized that in agents, maybe they couldn't survive at the beginning on just that first or second month. So in life insurance, they advance them, whether it be 12 months or longer, We do the same thing at LegalShield. When someone first gets started, rather than give them a few bucks, we advance them a whole year up front, allowing them to get off to a much better start. In fact, in our first year in LegalShield, because of these advanced commissions, we were able to earn over $250,000 our first 12 months with the company. So know this, is that as long as those memberships stay on the books, you'll get paid month after month after month after month on every single membership that you and your team are able to go out there and write. And last but not least, a lot of incentives at LegalShield. One of the things I most get excited about is the Performance Club. We go on exotic vacations all over the world. We've just over the last few years, we've been to Iceland and Italy. We've been to the Olympics. We've been to the Dominican. This year, we're going to Cabo. We've been to Jamaica. And the only thing that's missing on those trips is you. And all you have to do is a few simple things every month to be included with our Performance Club. So get back with the person that invited you today, and they'll walk through during your game plan interview exactly how to qualify for the Performance Club. Okay, guys, well, here's what it takes. This is a business like any other business. If you like what you heard so far and you believe we have a strong company, which we do, if you like the product that literally nobody has, virtually nobody has, less than a 2% market penetration, our belief is that everybody needs it. Virtually everybody can afford it. If you believe that's a perfect recipe for success, then we invite you to join our fast-growing team here at LegalShield for a one-time fee of only $99. And for this, you're going to own your book of business. It's portable, means you could live anywhere you want in North America, really around the world. And it's willable to your children as well. Lifetime residual income, weekly training and support. Do you know that we have nearly 800 employees throughout the United States and Canada that will work on your behalf to help support you with your LegalShield business? And note at the bottom there, make sure that you get signed up for our LegalShield Advantage. It's going to give you all of the access to our apps, our websites, and everything that it's going to take to help you be successful with your business. And again, that first month is free, and then it'll be $20 per month after that. You know, one of the great things about a LegalShield business is there's so many shining examples of success in LegalShield. We literally have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that have already made $1 million. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that are currently making a six-figure income, many from home, many even part-time, which is pretty amazing. Again, the only thing that we're missing is you. And so real easy to get started. Get back with the person, ask for their website link. They can walk you through it in just about 5 minutes, and you could be covered. The great thing about LegalShield is you're covered immediately when you sign up. The next thing is we want to get you registered as an associate for $99. That's super simple. We can do that application at the same time. And then what I would do if I were you is we've got another call lined up just like this, only way better, with a gentleman that has been there and done that, not only in sales and marketing, but he's an author. He wrote a book with Jack Canfield and Mark Victor Hansen, his wife Elizabeth. The next speaker at 12 noon Eastern, 11 Central, on the same Zoom presentation is a gentleman by the name of John Gardner. You can Google him, and you'll find out this guy is a complete stud. When he first learned about LegalShield, I believe they had 5 law offices throughout the state of South Carolina. If you turned over a Yellow Pages in South Carolina, you saw him and his picture, right? But he leveraged himself out of that. Why? Because he was making great money, but he had no time for his family. You'll hear his own story of why he decided to join LegalShield. But imagine that, right? You got this home-based business opportunity. You got 5 law firms, and you say, you know what? I'm going to do this over here. I think it'll make more money. It'll make me happier, and it'll give me more time freedom. So I'm not sure how much you have going on in your life, but I don't know anybody busier than my friend, Mr. John Gardner, Platinum Executive Director, that's going to be sharing at 12 noon Eastern Time. So, guys, my name is Steve Melia. Happy to share a little bit of my story and our success with LegalShield today. We wish you all the success that you'll allow yourself with a LegalShield business. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll catch everybody down the road. Bye-bye for now.